Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Domains. Dad's over there in the corner, and he'll be right
Are
on.
we starting?
We're
Are we trying to
starting.
listen? You tell Taylor Swift to stop calling me. All right.
Oh, yeah, and tell her to give me tickets.
Yeah, and give Julie tickets. Hey, Julie.
Hey, Daddy-O. Unfortunately, I did want to let you know, and we'll have to repeat this probably a few times throughout the stream. The Facebook is not connected to the live, so we're not going to be able to be on Facebook today. So if you guys know of anyone on Facebook that wants to see, they can
I
come
mean, you
view us
say
on
Facebook. Do you mean Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Okay, we're on Instagram, and even though they're owned by the same company, we're just
Yes.
not on the Facebook stream tonight. All right.
Yes. The account disconnected, and I do not have the power to reconnect it. So anyone who wants to see it, that typically is on Facebook. If everyone's yelling, we are also live on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube today. So
These are
hopefully,
not the droids you're looking for.
these are actually very much so the droids that you are looking for, and please stick around.
All right. Well,
Happy Monday!
yeah. So anyone who's watching the replay, if you're wondering how to watch it live, the way we're doing this is we're using through Julie's amazing moderator powers as she sits there and controls the entire world. We're actually live streaming on 4 different platforms.
4, typically we're on 5, but
Right.
we're having some issues that are outside of my moderator.
Well, let's talk about what we can do, Julie. Let's talk about what we can do.
Everything.
So we're on LinkedIn. We're on the Freename thing. And if I go to LinkedIn, right?
Right.
I share my screen. Isn't this going to be fun? And I go to, let's see, which one of my things do I want to go to? Oh, look, I sold a name today. Isn't that nice?
Oh,
If I go to LinkedIn, and for anyone watching this on the replay and you want to know how to watch it,
hey, that's me.
look at that. So that's what it looks like on LinkedIn right now. And that's Julie live drinking her drink on LinkedIn. And the way you'd find that is just by going to LinkedIn, Freename, and then from here, it's right there. Look at that.
We're right there. While you're there, if you want to click that little send, like, repost button, those are pretty fun sometimes.
Gotcha. And then if you go to YouTube, and the reason I'm showing everyone this, if you're watching the replay, is we are really going to ramp up our audience and our excitement here over the summer.
Woo!
And so let's see. Freename is our sponsor, and they're giving us all this studio time on all their whoops. I went to Freename instead of going to Freename's where did I want to go? I wanted to go to their YouTube. There we go. Freename's YouTube. And if you go to Freename's YouTube, it'd be right there live.
Hey!
So it's right there. And
I am
then
going to send out a little tweet just letting everyone know that we're not going to be live on Facebook today.
and that we did start, even though we were a little late, we did start. And if I go to Instagram,
Queen is never late. Everyone else is just early.
and we are going to incorporate a lot more of this screen sharing. And one of the reasons I'm so passionate about screen sharing is I believe that the best way for me to show you and teach you and to share things is to show them to you. I mean, you can listen to me talk all the time, and I liked my time on Clubhouse. I was a moderator for over almost 3 years, did over 1,000 shows. My heart is for the video. I did my first online TV show in 2007, if you can believe it. It was dntv.tv, and I did a daily show at the time. And way back then, Julie, I had to record the show, and then I had to have a technical person run it through what was called an encoder, and they had to encode it and actually listen to the whole show, to be able to fix any edits, but more importantly, just to get it ready to share. Hold on, let's see what we have on the phone right now. Hey there. Hey, Seth, I'm actually on a live stream right now. I thought I would talk to you on that, but I'll give you a call back. All right, bye. I thought that might have been one of our viewers. First time.
I know. I'm pretty sure more than SEO comes on Facebook.
Gotcha. Well, I'll
I just tweeted if you want to.
So anyway, if I went to Instagram, They don't let you do anything when you go to Instagram. But anyway, so all that to be said, I really like the idea of a video show. And one of the reasons is because I can show you different things that are happening, and instead of just talking about it. And I think that that's valuable, especially if you're playing along at home, and I'm either listing a domain name, showing you how to sell a domain name, buy a domain name, research a domain name. So anyway,
Yeah.
Judy, I sent you a little message I got today.
Which message are we talking about here?
Congratulations, I sold a domain name.
Congratulations, Dad sold a domain name. I need some music. Ding.
Yeah, ring the bell. So I
have a tambourine. Wait.
The tambourine. Woo! The sales tambourine. There we go.
It lights up. Look.
It lights up. Come on.
There's been a sale. My cat's concerned.
So, what everyone lives for in domaining is to get these type of messages. And
I'm keeping the sales tambourine around. That was fun.
There you go. I'm going to share my screen. So I got a message here just now that says, congrats, thepetitestore.com has sold via fast transfer. It says, congratulations, your domain has just sold via Afternics Fast Transfer Network for $897.
Woohoo!
So I bought this name for, let me find my chart. I keep track of all my names and their cost. And I bought this name. I've held this name for actually 9 years, if you can believe it. So my cost in it is $130. And just recently, I dropped all the prices of my store names by 40%. So I don't know if this name would have sold higher or not. But anyway,
it sold.
To give you an idea, this sold via what's called a fast transfer network, meaning I don't have to do anything. This name has already been purchased by somebody who bought it at another registrar. It gets moved from my account where I have it at GoDaddy to this other registrar, and I pay a 15% commission to use that network. And that's how it works. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is we're going to hear a lot in the rest of the year about sales networks. GoDaddy is the dominant player right now with the biggest network of registrars. And so anyway, that was a good sale. And then I'll tell you the things. Yeah. So the things I have to do after I get a sale are
be happy, celebrate.
Be happy. I also have it for sale on other networks. And so what I'll do is I'll go to those networks and take it down. So I'll go to Sadu, which is another sales network, and I'll go to my listing on Dan, and I'll remove it. One, so in case someone else decides they want to sell it at those places, my listing won't be there. But more importantly, so that someone else doesn't come and buy it, and then I have to say, oh, I don't own that name anymore. And that's kind of embarrassing, and you're really kind of not supposed to, you're not supposed to do it,
Okay, so that's good to know that it doesn't automatically get taken down off the other sites once it's sold on one. That's a domainer's job.
And most people are very sloppy at this. I call it portfolio hygiene or maintenance, because a lot of times you'll get names and you'll list them on a network, and you'll list like 100 names, and they'll say, we can't list these 10 names because they're already listed on the network. And you're like,
that's annoying.
Isn't that annoying?
That's annoying.
So anyway, so that's what I do. Now, the last thing I do is the fun part. Guess what the fun part is?
Buying them.
Buying what?
Domains.
Right. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to buy 2 names in the same group as the one that I just sold.
Okay. Expanding the portfolio.
So what I'll do is, let me find where I am here let me find this window. Where's the window that I'm sharing? Oh, it's got a little block on it. There we go. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go to my favorite site, which is expireddomains.net. And what I'll do is I'll say, well, I sold the Petite Store, and I've held that for 8 years. And I sold it for $897. What if I could buy a name that I like almost as much for $10? right?
Wouldn't that be exciting?
Then tomorrow, just like yesterday, I was hoping I was going to sell the Petite Store, right? I didn't know if it was going to sell. That's the thing about domaining. You make a lot of money compared to what you buy a name for, but you never know when it's going to happen.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do, so yesterday I was holding the Petite Store, and at the same point, tomorrow, what I want to do is have my $897 and also be holding another name that might sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, reinvesting. So
Yeah.
I know. So you're a domainer that likes to have a larger portfolio, and like, because I know some domainers have a large portfolio and they sell parts of it for less, and then some domainers have a small portfolio and really push, but they're really picky about their names. But you're a domainer where it's like, well, I never know what's gonna sell, so I need to have my eggs in a ton of baskets.
Yeah, and that is a very complimentary way to put it. When you were at NamesCon, you met some of the domainers who own $100,000 $1 million names, so they don't need that many of them. They only need a couple sales a year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The other way, I really can't always wait to get my best price. Sometimes I have to take a good price. So, definitely money management and finding out what the right portfolio size is for you, whether it's Web 2 or Web 3, whether it's domains or TLDs. If you buy something with the rent money, meaning you need that money for rent in 3 weeks, domains, you should never stretch and buy domains with the rent money because you're not going to be able to control when it sells.
So do you notice a correlation between the domainers that do it part-time and the domainers that do it full-time? Which ones tend to have their eggs in a ton of baskets, and which ones have their eggs in a few baskets?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Casual domainer versus the professional, which one's going to have more names?
Yeah, it's funny because there's really no absolutes in domaining because the moment I say one thing, the opposite's true. Meaning, if you're
You're not going to sell all your names by tomorrow.
But if you're a full-time domainer and you need to make, say, $5,000 a month profit each month in domaining, then it would be hard to do that with just 5 names,
Yeah.
So you're probably thinking, I need to get more names. At the same point, now you're signing up for more renewals, plus you have to pay yourself a salary each month, right? So not only do you need stuff to sell, but you need enough to sell where you can put money in your pocket to pay for groceries and rent and everything.
And your amazing daughter.
Right. So a part-time domainer has an advantage. This is why I really encourage everyone not to be a full-time domainer, but be a part-time domainer, because then as long as your domain portfolio is breaking even, you can afford to wait and be patient and take a higher price. Does that make sense? Because you're not like, oh, I've got to sell something this month. So what you would do with a name like the Petite Store is you would just have make offer, and the same person that bought it for $897, they may say like, oh, I'd like to buy it for $500, and who knows, you might be able to say it's $4,000. And maybe they're opening up a store and it's going to be a chain of stores and they can pay it. You know what I mean? And so, but if you need to sell something each month like I do, I'm more likely to price them and buy it now, and because I need something to sell every day.
Just FYI, I really like the Serenity Store.
So yeah, so now I'm going to look at this theme that I have, and not a lot of people like it. A lot of people don't like the, but I do. And so, this is what I'll be looking for. These are names that have recently dropped, meaning they've recently been deleted. So on one hand, I shouldn't find anything good here because, it means that whoever owned it doesn't even want it anymore.
Unless they just forgot about it and their credit card expired.
And that's the thing, but you don't want to project that onto every name, right? You want to be realistic. But what I can do here, like you say, is maybe someone just bought the Serenity Store. See this way back here. It means that it's okay. So it was only bought last year, the Serenity Store in 2020. So they're just like, oh, they spent the money on it. It didn't sell. Let it go. Right.
Yeah.
But somebody registered this name because it was first seen in um, archive.org, which is a site that takes snapshots of websites way back to 1990 something.
Oh, wow.
So you can see what Google looked like in 2001, or you can see what my site, Joe Domains, looked like in 2006.
That's
And it's
cool.
not every site, it's whatever they have snapshots. But what this means is somebody bought this name 20 years ago.
So
You know what I mean?
So if someone's had it up for 20 years, it might have some traffic?
Well, no, someone had it 20 years ago, but then they dropped it. And whether it dropped 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 times, I don't know. But someone registered it last year at this time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just it's a way I look for names sometimes. I'll click on this, and if I click on this column at expired domains, these names actually have been registered the whole time. Like this name here,
The bear store, that's a good one.
See, I was thinking about that. I know the teddy bear store would be great, but what do you think about the bear store?
Because listen, you have The Bear, which is a kitchen TV show that's trending right now. So it could be a kitchen situation. Then you have the whole man versus bear, and then just teddy bears, outdoor stores, fuzzy clothing.
Gotcha. Or even
a workout, a gym nutrition.
So what you're doing, Julie, is you're doing the power of domain names is if you own it, you can imagine all these great things to do with it. You know what I mean?
I imagine all the people I could sell it to.
And that's the power of it. And so the last thing I'll say about being full-time is you're more likely, if you're full-time, to buy a name like the Bear Store and then, go to Google and type in bearstore.com and it thinks I'm typing in beer store, like drink beer. So here we go.
Bears. That sounds cute.
The Bear Store Antiques, the Bear Store in Blue Ridge, Georgia. You know what I mean? So they may be a buyer. They are bearstorebr.com.
Ew.
So now what you're looking for here is if you see a site that they have a trademark on the Bear Store, then you want to be careful there because you don't want to just buy it to sell it to them. But anyway, so this is the Bear Store. So I thought the Bear Store was a prospect, you know what I mean?
I like it.
The idea that I'm doing here, what I'm trying to show everybody is if you sell a name for $900, but you can't afford to buy anything as good, then all you've really done is you've turned your domain into money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you really haven't made profit. But like if you think the Serenity Store is just as good as the Petite Store, then it's like I still have a good domain and I got the $900. That's what I call profit. You know what I mean? Because it'd be like being in a clothing store and you buy a dress from the manufacturer for $50. You sell it for $200, and then you go back to the manufacturer and you buy another one for $50, right? And so now you've got your inventory of $50, but you made your profit, along the way.
Now, at what point do you not buy a different name and then you put that maybe into savings to get an upgraded name? Hey, Crypto Reporter.
Well, that's the thing that's really important is understanding how real life and your domain portfolio interact,
Seeing if it's worth it to get upgraded domains versus if you want to stay with a list of 100,000 $10 names.
Yeah. So if you are deciding that I'm going to upgrade, then you may say, I'm going to take that $800. I'm going to put $200 back into my reserve, and I'm going to buy a really good name for $600. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be upgrading. But the other thing you may be doing is you may saying, hey, I'm doing domaining to make money, to go on a vacation, to buy a car, to do whatever. So you may say, hey, I've got this profit. I'm going to go ahead and do something with it. I'm going to go do something with this $800 because I only paid, in this case, I think I paid $30 for the name and I renewed it for 7 years. So I've been waiting for 7 years for this name, to sell, and it finally did. So it's funny because meme coins are a big thing right now, Julie. People are buying coins that can go up and down. But it's kind of like this domain, I bought it for 30, and then if you had a chart for it, you know what I mean? It's like I bought it for 30 and then it was worth 0 for 7 years, and then it was worth 900.
Yeah, it doesn't like accrue. It only is worth something when it sells, when you find a buyer for it.
Right. And now it might have some wholesale value, and that's what I do at Domain Outlet, where like I sold a name yesterday for $150 that I had on the outlet for $69. So I do try to sell names at wholesale. But anyway, let's see if we can find one more. I went in here, so I'm looking at names that have just deleted, and I'll go the Bear Store. Then here, this is what people are paying to advertise. The CPC, can you see that, Julie?
Cost per click. I got that one.
It's you.
I got that.
The fur store, is that like a fur?
No, I think it's like the tree.
Well, what I think what Google's doing is they're taking the fire store and they're thinking that the fur store is a typo. So see how these stats are the same?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about the stats, because sometimes Google will show you the stats for something that's like it in spelling, and Google thinks it's the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The pants store.
So the pants store was good, but what about the rattan store?
Okay, wait. No, the pants store, that's a trademark. That's a boutique in Alabama that's super popular among Bama Rush.
Really?
Yes.
So what I'll do is I'll put it in Google and I'll put it in quotes.
The pants store.
Pants store, Huntsville. Pants store. The pants store. The pants store.
Oh, is it 2 S's?
No, that's the pants store. No, you're right. It is the pants store. So it gets a little tricky when you buy the name. Oh, that's the pants store. The pants store. Huh. It gets a little tricky when you buy a company's exact name. Sometimes when you reach out to them, they're really mad at you. They're like, you can't take our name. You can't take our name. But let's look at this TikTok.
It's not the same. It has value. They have 109,000 followers on Instagram.
There you go. Auburn. Pants store. Auburn. So it's funny, either
they have them done by city. They have the pants store Leeds, Crystal, Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Auburn, and Huntsville.
But do you think
this is why you have daughters?
Do you think it's called pants store or pants store?
It's pants store.
Say it again.
Pants store. 2 S's. I was wrong.
Gotcha. But their TikTok is the pants store.
Is it?
See, obsessed with the pants.
Either way,
Julie, look at you, Julie, with the intel on the pants store.
Either way, if I don't know, other people also don't know if it's pants or pant.
And the pants store.
It's a thing. It's like a huge thing.
Gotcha.
So there's my opinion on that.
Yeah, the pants store, the pants store. All right. Well,
it sells, I get profit.
You got it. All right. So that is what I do after I sell a name. So the rattan store was interesting.
Store.
What's that?
Is that no? Okay, I saw the paper store, but it's papers store.
So anyway, that's what I try to do. Is I try to do what's called a round trip. So
I like that. Reinvesting in the company, taking a little for yourself, a little for rent.
There you go.
That was a fun moment. I got to know stuff.
There you go. That's domaining. So that's what we're going to try to do here all summer long, is try to give you a peek into this world of domaining. And Julie and I have been talking the last couple of weeks, and when we originally started the show, Julie, we were like, we should provide a lot of education about how a domain name is valuable to influencers and stuff. And after NamesCon, I started thinking the most the reason that there were some younger people at NamesCon was they like making money buying and selling domain names.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
and I almost feel like instead of maybe saying, oh, let me tell you a reason why you should own domain names, that bridge may or may not get crossed. But the ability to know trends a lot better than us OGs, that could be a good niche for people, right?
We really could have a niche that you guys don't have, and because you wouldn't have known about inspo.cfd without me, and that's one of the funs of being one of the very few young domain women out there, is there's a niche that no one else knows about, so I get to know all the fun stuff first.
Good stuff. Well, listen, before we shut it down, hey, Crypto Reporter, great to see you. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Announcement tomorrow, Europe time, so get up early. Freename says they have an announcement tomorrow. And the corporate team wanted me to let everyone know. So if you're watching it tonight, and they've hinted that it's about maybe a wallet that can hold all your assets. So next week we'll talk about it, Julie. We'll go over what's a wallet again.
Oh, I know what the answer to that. I'll leave that discussion.
So anyway, thanks everybody for viewing tonight. Julie, as always, it was great spending time with you. Dad, daughter, and domains.
Dad, daughter, and domains. We will see everybody next week. Hopefully we'll be back up on Facebook. So we should have some great comments and all that jazz. Everyone have a great week. Sell some domains. And happy Monday. What else do I normally